I think we're going live, Cody.
Hey, Mr.
Oh, there's
Pond
music.
Tell me what to do.
Don't you love that
To
little
make
ditty?
all
Isn't
my
that
Lunker Lake
cute? Our good friend
dreams
Philip
come
Robin did that
true.
song. Hello, everybody. Bob Lust, the Pond Boss. Guess who I'm hanging out with? Cody Borgfield. So here we are. We're at Texas Hunter Products, and we're going to talk about fish feeders. Cody, looks like we've got a grand number of 0 viewers so far, so it might take me a minute to chime in. But you know what? Last week, it showed the whole time that we had 0 viewers. But these guys are pretty loyal, pretty faithful, and they're going to chime in here in a minute. So let's go ahead. Well, we got, look at there. It shows we got 3 viewers. They're being a little bit shy.
We're popular.
Yeah, we're going to be famous in a minute. Well, here we are at Texas Hunter Products. Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah, and glad we can make it.
Yeah, no kidding. Chris Blood, after the broadcast last week, I think I said something about going to this meeting here at the American Fisheries Society, and Chris called me and says, "Hey, well, why don't you come broadcast from Texas Hunter?" And I go, "God dang, the only thing about that is why didn't I think about that?" So here we are. Hello, Travis Walker. There's John Dyer checking in from the Carolinas. Sarah Parvin from the Slab Lab. We love Sarah Parvin. Sarah's going through mourning right now.
I know.
You know, and
It's a bad deal.
yep. But I just publicly want to say that I'm fired up for what's next, because now she gets to start with a clean slate, a brand new canvas, and do the magic of what she's learned over the years about how to take care of the water. These fish are gonna, when she does it next, and I'm, it sounds like it wasn't 100% fish kill, which is pretty normal. It's not normal to have a 100% fish kill. So, I believe the Slab Lab is going to come back faster, better than anybody can imagine. And if anybody's going to be able to pull the trigger on that, it's Sarah and her dad, Dennis. So, pretty fired up. Look at there, Okeechobee. Tim Stewart's checking in. Doug Cusick's checking in from Kansas. So what I thought I'd do today, of course, you guys know the drill. Hashtag Pond Boss Magazine in the comment section. Click like. Share this to your timeline, and you're eligible for drawing for a Texas Hunter hat.
That'll work for me.
I kind of just sprung that on you, didn't I?
What else do you want to give away?
There you go. What do you got? Well, we're going to cover a lot of ground tonight, and I'm excited to spend this time, because here's what we're going to attempt to do. I do this on a laptop. Hello, Ron Krisman. He raises smallmouth bass up in Michigan,
Nice.
south of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he's a big fan of Texas Hunter and Pond Boss. Hey, John Henry. Okay, you guys, you know what I'm going to say next. Say it with me. Listen, you can hear him saying it. It's going to be so loud. Pond Boss Magazine, $35 a year. Cheaper than a Friday night date, and it lasts a year. You can't do without it. And look how good this cover looks this year. It's got a fountain and everything. And seriously, well, I never get serious, but there's an article in this issue about a genetics study. How important are genetics to your fishery? How important are genetics to your children? Well, I don't cover that, but we're going to talk about genetics of fish and the environment. So that right there is worth the price of admission. So, Cody, tell us a little bit about Texas Hunter Products. On this format, everybody knows that you guys make great fish feeders.
Fish feeders, yeah.
And I don't really promote the habitat piece like I should. So, but you guys, it's not Texas Hunter Fish Feeders and Fish Habitat, it's Texas Hunter Products.
Texas Hunter Products. So, yeah, like last year we celebrated 70 years. So, 70 year, 1954, the company was founded, known for high-quality products, no matter what we do. So, scatter feeders, protein feeders, road feeders, fish feeders. We've kind of gotten into a little bit of everything. Our blinds. And then the habitat as well, we added the most recent, I think. So we've got 6 different habitat products.
We're going to look at some of those in a minute.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's Leanne. Hey, Leanne. Dale Baden. Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Who gave him the word we're going to be here? Atta boy. Dale Baden. We love Dale. Dale was here for how many years?
Dale did a show here, I think.
Yes, he did. Actually, he did. Yeah. He and I did one together, and we had a great time. And I think Dale was probably still wearing diapers when he started working here, didn't he?
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay. Yeah. Well, Dale is a treasure, and I miss hanging out with Dale. And I know he's enjoying the retired life.
Oh yeah.
He's got grandkids, so I know how that works. Mm-hmm. All right. So Tim Stewart needs a new motor for the spinning plate that sends the feed to the flinger. for my Texas Hunter feeder. Tell them what you need to do there, Cody.
We can do that. Just give us a call. Visit the website. They're online. Should be under accessories. Give us a call. That's the most important thing to us is customer service.
That's
So,
right. And
we answer it and
Yep.
send it right out.
And I tell you guys every time, one of my favorite things about Texas Hunter is their customer service. You know, the products are great, but the customer service is what really pushes them over the top with me. Because if you call Cody tomorrow or talk to Justin or somebody here, there'll be a motor shipped out tomorrow.
Yep. Same or next day.
Same or next day. There you go. There's Charles Hearing. Well, so there you go, Tim Stewart. Kenny Sanderson's checking in. He is a smallmouth bass, walleye, sauger guy from Western Kansas. He's an expert. He actually works in the aviation industry, but the guy's passionate about fish, and he's cracked the nut on how to get those hard fish to reproduce, to coax them in and seduce them to where they reproduce a lot, and he's good at that. Hello, Jerry Ohlert. Good gosh, Jerry Ohlert's he did all the videography for Alan Warren's TV shows.
Okay.
And he lives here, so if you're looking for a really good videographer, Jerry Ohlert's the guy, and I'll give you his contact information.
Yeah.
Jerry's done some work for you?
I believe.
Okay.
Chris, yeah.
With Chris, okay. Michael O'Neill, should I use a liner or pack in clay? New 3/4 acre pond in Northern California. If you've got clay, Michael, use clay. And if you can't read the soils, get somebody that can read the soils. Get an engineer or an earth mover that really knows what he's doing. There's Bay Miltonberger. I told you he would be on here. Bay's bought like umpteen feeders and habitat stuff. They've sent me stuff that I got the very next day, and I break stuff. He breaks stuff. Bay breaks stuff. Hello, Bob Jones, Southern Illinois. Good to see you. So let's take us through. Well, I think in a minute I'm going to see if we can pick up this laptop and just go for a tour so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I mean, This is like I don't want to use the word museum, but there's one of everything in this showroom. It's going to be kind of fun. Checking in Vito, there he is from Whitesboro, longtime friend there. I knew Vito when he was, 15 years old. Now he's got gray hair.
How long was that?
Long time. I don't know, Vito's got to be knocking on the door of 40. Wink, wink, wink. Yeah, so there we are. So tell us, you've given us just a little bit of the backstory on Texas Hunter, but you guys are continually doing research and development. You just come out with a pet feeder that Chris has been working on for a long time. And so now you got an automatic, is it like a dog feeder, cat feeder, possum feeder? How does that work?
So it is a pet feeder. That is it's kind of a project that Chris actually took with his division, and they're working on that more extensively. So they're developing a smaller unit. The one we had here was a larger unit, and they're doing a smaller unit that they're going to sell. It's going to have a lot of bells and whistles. It's going to be really nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you got a dog, you need one. There's Bobby West. I thought Bobby might be checking in. Bobby's bought several deer blinds and quite a few feeders from you guys. As a matter of fact,
Thank you.
That's where we do the Institute of Higher Pondology. I was just talking to Cody about coming to that, Bobby, and I think he's going to come and bring some products and kind of set things up and spend some time. Maybe he'll be on the program. We got to hammer all that out. That'd be fun. Where is Chico? Chico's right up the road at Seguin. He's not very far from here. There's Joel checking in from Clinton, Louisiana. Dr. Howard Dietrich. I think he's hanging out in Iowa right now, although he's got a place in Florida in the Panhandle. So, tell us, okay, Mark Williams called me.
Right.
And he said, okay, Bob, I got a couple of questions. He says, the price of feeders keeps going up. Well, what's not going up? The price of eggs has come down, but that was kind of a tricky thing there. But everything seems to be going up. I know when I go to the grocery store, which I do all the grocery shopping at our house, $250 worth of groceries now cost $400. So it makes sense that the price of feeders would go up. Is that mostly attributed to material cost or what?
Material, labor, inflation stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
Since
that's-
COVID, everything's
It's changed.
doubled. Yeah.
Well, Mark's question to me was, why is it going up? Well, there's your answer. And Mark says, do they have a product that costs less money that people with small ponds could use?
So sure.
So what do you got there?
So we do have it's called model number is HF100. It's a hanging feeder. Holds about 50 pounds of floating fish pellets.
There's one over there, right?
Yep.
We'll go look
We'll
at
go
that in a
check it
minute.
out.
Okay.
So it's a scatter feeder, so you do need to hang it over the water. It's got a hanging bracket. The trick is to hang that one over the water, because once you get some weight on there, it's just a tricky part to do. So if you have a little arm, very easy to do. It comes with 4 baffles, so if you want to drop straight down, it'll drop straight down with the 4 baffles. If you want to take one off, it'll make it semi-directional. But the feed that does hit the sides will drop straight down.
Yep.
So that's a more economical model.
And how much does that one cost?
That one's $4.99.
$500, half price, a little better than half price. Jeremy Day, not seeing many fathead minnows anymore. I'm guessing the other fishes have hammered them. Flathead hammered them. Yeah, they hammered the fatheads. Yes, they did. They knocked them out. That's their job. It's the job of the fathead minnows to reproduce a whole bunch so that the fish can hammer them and get their first year's growth. So that's probably what's happened to you, Jeremy Day. Jeremy's over near, it's in Montgomery County, over near Navasota.
Okay.
We're kind of, I guess, northeast of Navasota over there. He's got about a 9-acre lake. I've been there to see it. And his fathead minnows, of course, he's had a little misfortune because when he built the pond, it had some water in it, and he expanded it, excavated it, sold some dirt to make it bigger. His excavation company did that. They needed the dirt. And so, but there was a puddle of water, and guess what was in it?
What's that?
Fish. He had crappie, bullheads, and some other sunfish. So he wasn't able to get rid of all those. So now when he stocked it, he stocked fatheads, and he started feeding them. He's got a Texas Hunter feeder. And he started feeding the fish, and, the fatheads came in droves, and they were doing really good. And I'm sure they got hammered because you got bass, you got bluegill, you got crappie, you got bullheads. They won't thumb their nose at a dadgum fathead minnow. Danny Mack from San Antonio. Danny Mack, I'm in your back door, buddy. I'm hanging out at the Waldorf Astoria downtown on the 15th floor. Oh, wait, no, that's not that hotel. The Marriott River Center. Going to American Fisheries Society. They got what they call Black Bass 2025. They have this conference every 25 years, whether they need to or not. So I wasn't going to miss it. And there's some really good talks. I'm going to be there tomorrow and then head home on Friday.
So interesting. It's every 25 years.
I know.
Don't you think?
Yeah. And I'd like to tell you that I've made all 3 of them, but haven't. I missed the one in 1975. But this one, it's kind of a who's who. And it's mostly agency personnel, state agencies, federal agencies, and there's a handful of people in the private sector that are here. But it's really pretty darn good. All right, so behind me sits a directional feeder. There we go. So tell us about that feeder a little bit.
Okay, so we've got 4 different capacities in our directional feeders. We've got a 70-pound feeder, 175-pound, 250-pound, and I missed one, 100-pound, which is exclusive to the lake management dealers.
Okay, those are the LM models. Yep.
So these are all galvanized, powder coated. You've got the choice of the adjustable or straight dock legs, adjustable slope, adjust to a sloping bank. Easy to fill. It's a dual motor system, so the timer runs the motors in a sequence, so there's no clogging, no jamming. Everything cleans out after each feed event. So that also makes them very varmint-proof. Raccoons can spin this wheel all day long, but nothing comes out.
There you go.
It's a balancing act. So
when we first started back in 2005, I managed a lake in North Carolina, and we had 50 feeders on it. We put them on a Wi-Fi system. I think probably the first one ever. And as we were going along, we started noticing that some of the feeders were being emptied faster than the others. So we set up some game cameras, and every one of these feeders was on a platform out in the lake, 125-acre lake. And we set up some game cameras out there, and raccoons were swimming out, climbing up on the platform, spinning the spinners under there, and eating all that fish food.
Really?
So we started setting traps.
How far do they have to swim?
100 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, feisty little devils. And over a 2-week period, the caretaker there trapped 98 raccoons that were stealing fish food. So what Texas Hunter's done is they figured out how to counteract that deal with this 2-motor system. So the first motor comes on, and it's blowing the blower, then the second motor drops the feed down, augers it. Does it auger it?
It's a spinning type motor.
Okay,
it's
so
a spinner plate.
So it
Yeah.
drops down into the rolly wheel,
The blower unit.
the
yeah.
blower unit,
Blows it out.
and it blows it out, and then that motor quits, but the other fan motor keeps going so it can blow everything out. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's see what we got. A couple questions, and let's go do a little walk around here in a minute. We've only been going 15 minutes. So let's see here. Travis Walker says, the bluegill barely ate today. No outside influence except the pond is getting shallow. Old pond, half acre. I'd tell you my knee-jerk reaction to that question is if they're spawning, and you're in a full moon right now, and that's when they spawn. If they're spawning, they're not going to feed. They're going to go get on the bed. They're going to reproduce, pay attention to that business, and they're not going to stop in the middle of that for a Twinkie. So, Bay's making fun of me. You know, if anybody needs to tell me how a feeder works, it should be Bay. Hello, John Harson. Okay, so it looks like we're having an internal conversation here. Oh, look at that. Mark Hicks gave the same answer I did. The difference is he beat me to it. Congratulations, you just graduated. I don't know what, but okay, the bluegill spawned about 3 weeks ago. So Travis, so let's take another tact on this. If your bluegill aren't feeding, and they should be, you know, my knee-jerk reaction is they're reproducing. If they're reproducing, they're not going to eat. But if your water quality is beginning to deteriorate, that's another reason they won't eat. I don't know where you are. I don't remember. Look at there. There's Ron Ardwine checking in from Lake Charles, Louisiana, Lake Area Pond Management Company. He sells a few feeders. Yeah. So just watch, you know, I want to give you some meat here. I'm not going to tell you watch your water quality, but watch your water quality. Hey, there's John Wilson. He's Aquadoc. You know John. Yep. I was hanging out with him a few weeks ago. Yeah, John Harson will stop in for a Twinkie. We'll get in front of a feeder and you'll see what you get. Hello, Michael Eric, checking in from up in Iowa. But Big Frog, I've been talking to him about fisheries management. I keep thinking they got an opportunity up there, but we'll talk about that some at some point.
Got a good business. Yeah.
No, he's got a great business model. Holy cow, I think he's got 7 offices, offices in 7 states and works in 11 states now. So he's expanding, and it's all family business. It's not like a corporate model. He's doing good.
Yeah.
So, years ago, we put together with you guys a little pamphlet about feeding fish. We need to redo this.
Yeah, I noticed that just before we got on.
It's still got some pretty good meat in it. All these kids are grown up because I know them.
You know them?
There's my granddaughter. She's 16 now. This guy here, he's 25 and he's in the service. Let's see. There's my wife. She doesn't look any older at all.
That guy's got longer hair now. Did you see that?
He is a hippie. Yeah. What happened to that? What happened to that guy? His wife convinced him to grow his hair out, man. Yeah.
It's a good move.
Was it? Yeah. Oh, thanks. I'm flattered. All right, so we got these. You got 4 different fish feeder models, primarily that are the directional feeders. So capacity is the biggest thing.
That's the only difference.
The only difference. Now the lake management model, the 175. What's the cost comparison to that one that holds 100 pounds of feed compared to the one that you buy online or straight through or other dealers or whatever? That's like a 70-pound capacity feeder.
Right.
Is it the same price?
No, it's a little bit more, but the thing that people like about that feeder is it holds a full 2 bags.
Yeah.
You're not having to fill a 50-pound, put a 50-pound bag in there and a half a bag of the other.
That's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Who wants half a bag of fish food roaming around in the truck
That's
to get rained
raccoon
on?
food.
Raccoon food, that's right. So you guys, let's just go through some of the lineup of products. Right now you're kind of geared up for the fall, which means hunting. So you've got hunting blinds, you've got
scatter feeders,
road feeders. You got what else? What else you got?
So primarily in the spring, we're doing fish feeders, protein feeders, and those 2 items kind of carry over all year now. It's become more year-round than it used to be.
Why is that?
I think exotic animals. I think the people are always needing to feed something, especially the protein feeders. I think they're upgrading, especially in the fall. It's top of mind. They're going out to fill feeders, and my protein feeder's rusting out, something like that. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest thing, exotics, and then just top of mind, it's that time of year they're replacing stuff.
You know, that's a case in point that strikes me is Texas Hunter's always a step ahead, it seems like. Like when Purina Mills upgraded their Antler Max fish food to make it rainproof, well, that drove up the cost of the deer food, and Texas Hunter saw that in the marketplace and said, you know what? We need to be sure raccoons can't get to that food, because that's going to make a difference in the marketplace. And that's part of the reason you guys did the dual motor on these feeders, to make sure that raccoons couldn't get into it, partly because of what Purina did with Antler Max.
Yeah.
You know? So you guys have the finger on the pulse of the marketplace.
Sure.
You know?
Try to stay ahead.
Yep.
That's the name of the game.
So let's do this. Let's take a feeder like this one back here. Are there any problems with that feeder? What happened? You answered the phone. Do you get customer complaints? If you do, what is it?
90% of the time, something's bad is a battery. Feeder counts down, doesn't go off. Have you tried replacing the battery? The bad thing is it can only read voltage on our timer, so it's kind of a false reading, which is not great. But I think that unless you put just a meter on there to test that, I don't think that's possible right now. So yeah, it's just a bad cell in the battery. That's generally the problem. Motors go out over time. Parts and timers go out over time. But I mean, for the most part, 90% of the time we get calls, it's a bad cell in the battery. So
I had a
because
guy.
it's reading good. It's misleading.
And so if you got more than one feeder, trade batteries. See if that fixes.
That's always a good thing. If you have a second feeder, you can always swap out parts and figure out troubleshooting.
Yep, that's right. Good. So another thing I hear, especially in areas that are pretty humid, is that sometimes moisture sweeps in or rain drives under the door. That's something I hear sometime. I hear it more than I like to. Mm-hmm. What do you tell people to do about that?
Well, we've done a few things to under the lid. I haven't heard that, but there's some in the corners that we have to rivet together. We've actually started sealing the seams on those. So I mean that's what we've done on that. The older models, they had a small hole in the corner of the lid, and we've started tack welding those. So the dab of silicone in the corner of the lids, that does a lot too. So,
okay,
yep.
That's some good intel. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Then we're going to go for a walk. Oh, there we go. Let me back up here. Yep, Danny Mack, got to see his fish feed. John Harrison, I feed my fish 2 pounds a day over 4 feeding times, 2 hours apart. That's pretty smart, especially if they eat all of it, because what that does is that allows some of the fish to be digesting food all the time, so you're feeding more fish over that span of time. Because when a fish tends to fill up its belly, then it goes away and it doesn't want to come back, like a bass might. So other fish that aren't getting feed on that first feeding will get it on the second one, and then, because it takes about, in these temperatures, probably 6 to 8 hours for a fish to digest all their feed. Yep. So Bill Schrum, I visited Jason Dodd's pond, that's near Wichita, Kansas. So Bill is near, he's up in northern Oklahoma. He's got 2 Texas Hunter feeders on his pond. This is the first time I observed a Texas Hunter feeder in person. I was amazed at how far it threw the feed. I'm at my pond 90% of the time when I feed Purina MVP by hand. Give me your sales pitch on why I should purchase a feeder. You want to do it, or you want me to?
Grow bigger fish faster.
Yep,
Consistency is key, I think. Isn't that right?
Yes, consistency is real key. So, if you can be there and feed them by hand every day, that's great. But if you want to maximize fish growth, now one thing Bill Schrum's got to be careful about is he's going to have to watch his water quality, because he's in a part of the country that's fairly arid, not a lot of rain like everybody else gets, and his watershed's about the right size for that pond. And he's got some shallow water. So the thing about using a feeder is you can set it to go off like what we were just talking about, 4 times a day with 2 pounds of feeding. You could set your feeder to go off 4 times a day with half a pound of feed, and you're going to actually be feeding more fish than you do when you're standing out there feeding them all at once. Because when you're standing out there on the shore or the dock or whatever where you're feeding the fish, you're only going to feed the most aggressive fish. Oh, and if you got any feed left over, it might get eaten, it might not. But when you feed those most aggressive fish and you give it a few minutes, then there's fish that are not quite as aggressive, they're going to eat that fish food. So there's a pretty good reason to do that. And plus, I know that you feed other animals, and I got a feeling you feed some deer, so when you're through feeding the fish, you can have another reason to feed something else too. So there you go. Let's see what else we got going on here, Cody. Don't you guys make some habitat? Oh, hey, let's don't blow by Kenny yet. Can we fix that with LiPo4, lithium phosphate? I don't know what that is. Do you?
I'm not sure. Send us an
Oh,
email.
live PO4. I don't know what that is, Kenny. You
I saw that
stumped me.
question earlier. I was curious what that is.
Yeah,
Send an email to info@Texas Hunter.
One of Kenny's favorite things is to stump me, and he's pretty good at it. Let's see. I know there are a lot of knowledgeable people here. Has anybody had success with Muck Reducer? Travis, yes, they have. And one of the things I like about Aquafix and those companies, what's it called? Natural Lake, Landon Wyatt. That guy will analyze your water and then make a custom blend for what you need. All right, so Michael Larry, that's my biggest complaint, wet feed in the corners on all 6 feeders. Well, there's your answer. So silicone the corners?
I would. Some of that can be condensation. If you have a lot of fluctuation in temperatures, that's possible too.
To get some moisture coming in from the humidity?
Yes.
From temperature changes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we've started sealing those corners with the sealant.
Yeah, and one thing that when I talked to Cody about this problem a few months ago, he said be sure and don't seal it too tight because you need to have a little bit of air circulation through that feed. And I thought that was pretty interesting because I'd never really thought about that.
Yeah, if you get a little air under that lid, which the imperfections, just the slight unevenness, it allows it to breathe a little bit through the top, but
Right.
there's not holes for
circulation because
get through.
then you
Yeah.
get moisture.
Right, exactly.
Look at there, Sarah Parvin's throwing out some pretty good content here. You're missing 10% of the time you could be feeding. Texas Hunter Computer can do that for you, so don't miss out on that consistency and that growth potential. That's really, she's right on right there. And if anybody should know, it's Sarah Parvin from the Slab Lab. So there's a pretty good pitch. I don't think we need to say anything else.
Fish feeding junkie. That's Sarah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sarah.
There's Deborah Corlew. Good evening, Bob, from northwestern Illinois. It's been hot and dry. Pond is 5 feet low as it is fed by the bottom through aquifers. I get that. All right, there's Kenny. Roger, what mineral makes the water have a blue hue? Mine has it without any dye. That's typically limestone. And where I see blue water like that is like in a situation that's a reclaimed mine where they dug really deep, where they got down like 30, 35 feet. So if it's that deep, the chances are, I'm going to come at you from 2 directions. If the water's a real pretty shade of blue, that's probably pure limestone that's dissolving into the water. If not, check the pH. Because not far from here, actually up the road in Bastrop, Texas, east of Austin, my good friend Kenny Dryden had a pond. He wanted me to stock it. This is way, way, way back, golly, 40 years ago, and in the mid to late 80s. So I took a load of fish down there, and that water was Caribbean blue.
That's not good.
Stunning. Well, I thought it was gorgeous. What did I
I thought
know?
blue water was good.
Oh, it is. Until you step in it and put fish in it, and your legs catch on fire. So I started unloading those fish. I put them in a wash tub, and I waded out there, and my legs started to burn, started to itch. And I thought, geez, they got some kind of parasites or something here biting me. Well, I poured the fish in, and we stood there and watched as all the fish died. Well, come to find out, the pH of that water was 3.5. If it was a little bit lower, you could jump start a car because it would have been a battery. So it was over there in the Lost Pines region, and the water was really, really acidic.
Yeah.
So he had to amend that water. So I'd be checking the pH, but if fish are living in it, that's probably not the problem. It's probably really deep. Jeremy Day missed the last part. So what Jeremy's doing, he's at some activity right now, probably with his family, And he's dialing in and then checking out, dialing back in. Missed the last part. How often should you feed? This time of year when it's hot, Jeremy, where you are, I'd say feed twice a day. You know, as the temperature begins to fall in the fall, I think you need to bump up that feed, because there's an article going to be in the September, October issue of Pond Boss, if I can get it finished, that's going to talk about that. So fish are going to gain the most weight they can gain in the fall months, really second week of October all the way up until close to Christmas, depending on where you are. And that's when they're going to eat the most, that's when they want to gain the most, that's when you need to put the most weight on them. And here's why. If a fish can be in great shape going into the winter, it's less likely to lose much weight. So if it builds up some fat, adds some flesh, it can go into the wintertime, and when it has energy needs and it's not feeding actively, it can metabolize its fat. If it doesn't have a lot of fat buildup, it's going to metabolize flesh. If it metabolizes flesh, it's lost weight that it's got to make up before it can grow again. And for those of you guys that are trying to grow some really big fish, that's a real important deal. Hello, Chuck Brinkman. I saw where you called me today. I was right in the middle of attending this conference. I saw the call, but I couldn't do anything about it. I'll ring you when I can. Let's see here. Dale Baden, always follow Sarah Parvin and Bob Lusk, and you will never go wrong. See, he got it in the right order, too. Attaboy, Dale. Hello, Jim Allen, checking in from Kentucky. So he's fishing with Brooke Lund. I knew he was doing something with family. I knew that. He's got a daughter, Stephen F. Austin, Jeremy does, and they're out fishing today. So let's talk about fish habitat. So you guys have spent quite a bit of effort on creating your fish habitat and attracting. So talk to us about that. And holy cow, it's 8:01. Let's do a commercial right quick.
All right,
Let's do a commercial for Texas Hunter Feeders.
Oh.
I say this every time, and I know you watch, and I know Chris watches. Chris is out to dinner tonight, or he'd probably be with us. But Texas Hunter, I love their products, and you're going to do a little walkthrough with us in a minute if you'll hang out with us and see part of the reason why I love what they do. I love their products, but like I said earlier, I love their customer service. And Karina Mills, that's my go-to for fish food. I love their fish foods. I'm ready for them to tweak the business model, but I love their fish foods. They know how to make feed that'll grow a lot of fish, big, happy, healthy fish. So I'm a big fan, have been since 1995 when they started talking to me about it. Say, what can we do? How can we help this industry? How can we develop new products? And then they did it. Easy Docks of Texas. I love those guys. David Schneiderman. If you need a floating dock, of course, a lot of these places around the country, like Northwest Illinois, where the water goes up and down, in Texas, floating dock is a better answer than a stationary dock. So talk to David Schneiderman, Easy Docks of Texas. BirdDogIt.com. Jonathan Lusk. I know him. He's created a pretty cool niche. Matter of fact, I watched him grow up. I changed his diapers when he was little. That guy's building a pretty cool business model. Go to birddogit.com and take a look at it after the show, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Jacob West loves the Texas Hunter products. Yep. Yeah, and Bay's chiming in here. He says, I have their fish habitat in the Chico Pond. We went to dinner together, and I was just telling Cody about what you did there. And one thing we were talking about was how to use that fish, those habitat elements, and then use the big lily pads to mark other habitat elements and things.
Did you say he did mark those?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what Bay did was he's got a 2.5 acre pond up on his ranch in Chico, Texas, and he put in a couple of rows of your underwater habitat, which we'll look at here in a minute.
Sure.
And then he marked them with some of the lily pads on top.
Perfect.
And there were fish, when we ran the electrofishing boat up in there, it was boiling full of bluegills.
Okay.
And the lake's only like 2.5 years old, so the fishery's not matured yet, but you can sure tell how that habitat's making a difference. I'm going to shut up a minute. Talk to us about this.
So the habitat, we developed this with Auburn, University of Auburn Industrial Design Department and Fisheries to develop this stuff. So, we cover the whole water column, starting with the fish pyramid, more at the bottom, more of a protective habitat. So we actually got one over here.
Yeah, we're going to go there.
So the fish pyramid, I think you had a little bit to do with the holes we cut, the hole
Yeah,
sizes.
yeah, because during R&D, Chris would email a number of us in the business, say, shoot some holes in this.
Sure.
So I said, shoot bigger holes in it. You know, I thought the holes were not quite big enough for certain sizes of fish, and I think they were horizontal. I said, fish don't swim horizontal, make them vertical.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, so I did add some of that to that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is stuff made out of HDPE starboard material, snaps right together, so it's very easy to go together. And then we have our shade blades that will actually slide through them. These will collect sediment, stuff for fish to eat off of and everything.
Grow some little plants.
But yeah, very protective habitat. Once they can't fit in the holes, it becomes a Big Mac snack, I think is useful, right? So
like
a Big Mac for a fish.
That sounds like something I'd say.
But yeah, we've got two sizes of those. We've got the smaller pyramid, and then we've got the XL, which really covers a lot of space.
Okay, you got some of these out here, right?
Yes.
All right, let's see what else we got. And let's get up and walk around a little bit, because I want people to see what's going on here, because this is a very cool place. There's Ken Fisk from northern Illinois. We got some Illinois folks. Alex Kepke. Yep, let's see. Let's go around here. Let's see here. Josh Sinkovich. Virgil Meyer, he's got a lake in Iowa. Bay's talking about where he put the habitat. Chuck Brinkman, who had a minor fish kill even with the aerator going. Lost quite a few big bluegill and big catfish. Elena fed tonight and saw there were still several larger fish coming up. Several ponds around here had the same fate when the temperatures. Okay, that's why he called me. Got a fish kill. What do we do about it? So I will return your call. I may do it on the way back after I get back to the hotel. So let's go for a little walk. Let's see how this works. I don't have an image stabilizer here, and I'm going to have to look at it so I can see. And what are we sitting in? Look at that. We're sitting in some Texas Herd.
Adjustable, fold up, lightweight.
Okay. All right, so let's see what you got going on here.
So this is our fish pyramid. This is our small fish pyramid. So this is the hole that Bob helped to make the sizes for there. So these shade blades will just slide right in and out of these. So it collects sediment. We call these shade blades, as I said. But you can suspend these so it gets it off the ground. They'll float. Or you can weight them down and actually sink them onto the ground.
Oh, so they have kind of a positive buoyancy. So if you don't sink them, are they going to float out of the water? Do you have to add some weight to
You
it?
need to anchor them down.
Okay, you got to anchor. Well, you got to anchor them so they
You
won't
have to anchor
move.
either way.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then what else? What do you got over here?
So we've got, this is our 24-inch fish grass, and it doesn't go upside down, but we don't have water to float this in.
So when they're standing up,
It's
this,
standing up. You're going to have these
okay, so
strings of grass here.
they're standing
And
up.
how you do this, you're just going to put a small cinder block within here.
Can you fill that up with gravel and make it a spawning bed?
You could as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, made for a cinder block. This comes with Velcro
Oh, okay,
straps.
so you designed it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so
This
it's
is a small
designed.
cinder block
Oh.
or a paver. Either
Oh,
one.
okay. So then you put a Velcro strap in it.
Yep.
You can tell how many of these I've put together. I'm embarrassing myself here all of a sudden.
But yeah, this comes in, these are 24-inch lengths here. We also have the longer 48-inch.
Okay.
So,
I bet yellow perch and fathead minnows will stick their eggs all over those things. All right, what else you got? Well, there's a porcupine.
that's an African porcupine and a
Jeez.
huge marlin.
Who's that giraffe right there?
There's Jeffrey.
Jeffrey the giraffe?
There we go.
Is he on there?
Yep.
All right,
Got him on there.
let's spin around here. There's a zebra. Do you feed zebras?
You can feed everything.
Ooh, good answer. You must work for Texas Hunter. Okay.
So this is our Wrangler blind. This is a 5x7 octagonal shape. This is top of the line. This is aluminum. It's carpet on the inside. It's got a composite floor on it. And it comes in two different window configurations. We've got the combination bow and rifle windows. You can see the larger vertical bow windows. And then we replace that with the horizontal rifle windows if you're only rifle hunting. So
Okay, all right.
combination blind.
All right, so what's this? Here's a barrel feeder. What's that
That's a
about?
300-pound protein feeder. We've sold that one forever. It's got an internal funnel system in it. The deer will just come eat right out of the sides. It's got 3 feed ports.
So it's kind of a demand feeder then.
Yeah,
right?
it's a gravity flow. So
All right.
easy to fill, low profile.
All right, then over here,
We've got our 4x4. We call this our trophy blind. This is made out of same material as the fish pyramid. So
Oh, okay.
very durable. Never have to paint it. It's not going to rot, crack, peel, chip. We've got a sliding door on this. We also make a full door model as well with a nice stair system, easy to get into.
man, if I had one of those in my backyard, Debbie'd have a doghouse to put me in. Okay, so, all right, what do we got here?
So this is our 70-pound fish feeder, but I think what you're referring to is, so we've got a cool new accessory here. This is a magnetic rod holder. So everybody takes 3, 4 multiple fishing rods down to the dock. You just slip in here. It's got a place for pliers.
That thing pivots, doesn't it?
Yeah. So on the other side, we've got a vinyl fish ruler. So just another accessory, very handy to
All
see how
right,
big
spin
the
it back
fish are.
toward you,
Yeah.
and let's look inside the guts of this thing. All right, so I don't know how well.
You got it. Yeah.
All right.
So how this thing works, and I don't know if you want me to run it or
Yeah, why not?
why not.
Let's show people how to run it. There's a timer.
So very easy to set, just 3 buttons. We're just going to set off a feed event here for 3 seconds.
Any feed in it?
Nope. Skittles.
Skittles!
Don't get in front
Oh
of
my
it.
gosh, if my
So
grandkids
what-
were here, they'd be all over the floor in about 10 seconds.
So what'll happen here is this blower unit starts up first. Once it gets up to full speed, there it goes. Top motor's then going to kick on. That one's going to run for how many seconds we have it set for. It's going to shut down, and the blower's going to continue to run. So it cleans it out. It's ready to go for the next feed cycle.
And one thing I love about this feeder is you can access it to get to it in case you need to do something with it.
So that's a quick release panel.
There you go.
Comes right off of there.
There you go. Easy peasy. And then there's the bigger one. That one holds 250 pounds of feed. Now, people buy that for fish and deer, right?
Yes, so we've multi-purpose that. Hunters love them, especially bow hunters. Low profile, easy to fill, throws a great pattern. Also, the big thing on that is varmint proof.
Yeah, and it throws at 45 feet. So look up there. There's a menagerie. Look at that deer. There's got to be a story
We
behind
go
that
from
deer.
everywhere from Alaska to South Texas, hill country, and kind of back to the Colorado scenery up here.
Okay. All right, now here's a protein feeder. There's a demand feeder.
So this is a roto-molded protein feeder.
Roto molded.
One-piece mold. So we cut out these spouts here. The feed ports bolt right in. It's 3 bolts. But very low profile, easy to fill. This is a 1,200 pound capacity. It's got 6 feed ports. What a lot of people like about this is it doesn't rust.
Oh, yeah.
Metal feeders start rusting with the mineral content that goes through it.
And hogs can't reach up there, can they? Or will they?
Big hogs can.
But you gotta-
Don't mess with it too much.
So is this a standard issue
This is
stand
standard
for it?
height, yeah, so this
Okay.
is a skid design, galvanized, powder coated.
Okay.
Sorry, not galvanized.
So
Same
that's-
feeder on the ground. You can actually see inside this one, so it's all contoured. Everything's going to flow out. So
Very cool.
super durable.
Yeah.
600 pound model, 4 feed ports.
All right.
And then this is more bread and butter kind of scatter feeders. So these are galvanized, powder coated. Everything's built inside. Your timer, your battery go directly inside here. The solar panel mounts on
Wherever the sun
two
is.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the
Yeah.
fish feeder mounts on all 4. We just do 2 with this one here.
Okay.
So real popular. The 4-foot legs, low profile, easy to fill. We also sell this with 8-foot legs. So,
Okay.
Yep. Road feeders. We've got a 50 pound model as well as a 100 pound. Real cool thing about this is I got a wireless remote system.
So you can-
no more wiring anything through the cab of your vehicle.
Okay. So that fits into the trailer hitch on the back of the
Fits right into your
pickup.
receiver. Yep.
Fits into a trailer
You can plug
receiver.
this into your 4-prong light, trailer light plug.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
So it hooks up inside. You can hardwire it like that, or you can throw a 12-volt battery inside there
And then you can set it off with the remote.
with the remote. Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool. Those guys in South Texas deer country love that.
So we're getting more. These are the same thing as our directional fish feeder. We market these more towards corn, just different capacities. 300, 400, 500.
Yeah,
The density ratios is different.
yes, and I never tell people to put more than about 100 pounds of fish feed in a feeder because it cooks
Yes.
in the summertime.
Here's that 100 pound. 100 pounds of corn, 50 pounds of fish pellet.
Okay,
This
so-
is that hanging feeder that I was referring to as a.
All right, so that would be good to hang off of a dock.
Sure.
And it's
this
got a
is
spinner.
3 baffles on it.
So you got baffles.
Sure. So the spinner plate can spin. Once it hits the sides there, it'll drop straight down or throw it out the side.
All right. It looks like you sell the hanger poles too, hanger bracket.
These are for the larger feeders, but yeah, this one comes with the
With the hanger bracket? Okay, I got it.
So over here we've got our little bit more accessories and feeder kits that's bolt on to the bottom of the barrel. 6 volt, 12 volt. This is really cool. This is a new accessory that we have. This is we call it a power shelf. So it's a light to get inside your blind. Comes with a solar panel battery. It also has like a phone charger. Has a
So you-
multi-port. So you can mount this to the side of your blind.
Yeah.
And then you can use it as a shelf as well as plug in your phone.
Okay.
So you can power it.
I mean, how many guys do you know that have broken a leg flying out of a blind because there's a rattlesnake or an owl in it? You know, I actually
Not
do.
with the new seal blinds, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But our chairs, we've got accessories here, galvanized lids, funnels, the whole match setup.
Well, there you go. And there's all kinds of stuff. All right. Well, there's a really quick tour. So let's go sit back down and
See what kind of questions.
see what kind of questions are piling up because we haven't been looking at that. So there's a quick tour of the showroom of Texas Hunter. One of my favorite things about Texas Hunter too is they build the feeders here, not necessarily right here in the shop. They ship from this shop, but they build the feeders right here in San Antonio.
Yep. Just south of town, and then our roto molding is another facility just real close to us.
All right. Look at that. No questions.
Hot dang. Nobody
What
cares
happened?
about deer.
Mark Hicks, can the feeders run off lithium batteries or lead batteries?
We sell a sealed lead acid battery. The lithium, I've always asked this question to my battery guys, and I'm not positive, but I don't think you can charge it with a standard solar panel that we use. I think it requires a
Special charger.
different charging
Okay.
application.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So let's switch gears till we get a few more questions. So when somebody calls in and tell us what are some of the typical questions that people are asking you, and let's just talk about the fish feeders.
Sure. Oh boy.
What's a common question?
How they work. A lot of people don't realize, even when they purchase them, that they have 2 motors in them. They're kind of hidden. It's more of a specialized unit with the dual motor system. So they don't understand how it's throwing the feed out. So they're asking how it kind of works. You know, we run through kind of it's a little bit easier when you're showing it, but we run through and tell them the sequence of events to show how it's varmint proof and then how it throws out on the water. Difference in capacities, that's the thing. Which one do I need?
Okay, so they're looking to your expertise to figure out which feeder to buy. 'Cause
Sure.
They may not know.
Right. The 70 pounder fits most people. That's the most popular model.
I could see that.
Yeah, I know you just said that you suggest not putting on 100 pounds.
I don't
More than
suggest
100
putting
pounds.
more than 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And what I don't want to happen is that even though that fish food is sealed well, the vitamin package has some longevity to it, but there's just something about the binders, and it's got fish oil that coats the feeders. I don't want that stuff to go rancid, get really hot, and be in there more than about a month.
Some of these feeds, you can see the color difference if you leave it in there for longer.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Here's a question. What is the smallest size pellet that can be used? What will go through these, like this LM175 or the 70-pound feeders, the 135? So what's the smallest size pellet? I know it won't throw fish meal.
Yeah, as long as it's not powder.
Will it throw cornmeal size? That's probably too small, isn't it?
Yeah, no, anything that packs, it's not going to throw.
So like the
But
500.
the fingerling pellets,
Yeah.
yes. The only thing with a smaller pellet, you probably want to adjust that cup spinner plate up, because we get the question, hey, my feeder's running longer than I have it set for. Okay, well, you hear it running that long, but what's happening is that top motor is free spinning, and that food is so light, it takes it a while to stop.
Oh.
So people still hear that food going through there,
Okay.
and they think it's running too long.
Okay.
It just doesn't have enough weight on it. So, yeah, you may just need to adjust your cup spinner plate up if you're going to run it small on food.
So we're going to give you a definite answer of 500 probably is going to be the smallest you should use. I love Bay's comment. Fish feeder is very simple once you understand it.
That's it.
Before that,
Assemble the second one first, right?
that's a great line. I'm going to steal that one. If you don't get the first one, do the second one first, then go back to the first one and you'll have it. I like how the blower kicks on first. The fish do too. Oh, listen, that's pretty dadgum cool. John says it's like ringing the dinner bell when that first motor goes off. The fish are ready to...
They feel that vibration.
Yeah.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
I'll
They
be
feel
darned.
that vibration. You can see them swarming.
All right, John says Aquamax 400 works fine in his. Chuck says, did the feeders work with size 400 grower Sportfish largemouth? Largemouth is too big, and they've discontinued making that. So 400s, if John says the 400 is good in his, I'm going to believe that because of what he does.
I'd have to see that one. I don't know what size it is.
400 is one step down from 500. It's going to be maybe 1/8 of an inch pellet.
Yeah,
About that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up to a 9mm pellet, and as long as it's not dust.
There you go. There's your answer. There's R.E. Thompson checking in. R.E. is one of the most fascinating people I've never met. He's from Petal, Mississippi. I think he's like 84 years old. He still rides a Harley. On Tuesday nights, he goes to a recovery clinic to help people recover from whatever they're recovering from, probably addictions, I think. He has a ministry. He manages ponds. He rebuilds small motors. And
Jack of all trades.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he doesn't sleep. I'm 70 and I don't want to get out of bed some days. Virgil Meyer, for a feed like MVP that is variable particles, will the fish feeder throw the larger particles farther than the smaller ones?
Generally, yes. Like the corn feeder, the corn and directional feeders, it'll go about 5 to 10 feet further.
I
Just
did
the
not know
density,
that.
the heavier the pellet, the further it will throw.
Huh.
Yep.
So he can throw a shot put farther than he can throw a golf ball. Who knew? I'd never thought to look at that. Show you how sharp I am today and yesterday. All right, so it's 8:22. We're getting kind of close to the end. So let's cover some ground we haven't covered. We didn't show off any of the lily pads. Have you got some of those?
Yeah, I can grab one.
Yeah, why don't you grab one and let's let people see that.
It's going to take me a minute.
Go get it. I'll talk. Everybody's not there and saying, yeah, you'll talk. So what Bay did at his ranch near Chico, Texas, is he bought some of the pyramids and he put them in a row under the water, and water about 5 feet to 6 feet deep. Then on top of that, he stationed some of these plastic lily pads that Texas hunter sells, and he did that for fathead minnow habitat, spawning habitat, but he also did it so he could mark where he put the other habitat so he could fish it, so he could find it. And when Cody comes back, one of the obstacles that, and I'm going to ask you this, he's back in the warehouse now digging around trying to find some of these lily pads so you can see it. But a question we're going to ask him is well, I'm just going to put it this way. When I'm talking to people about this habitat, I hear some sticker shock. This costs too much, for the value you get. I hear that from people. So we're going to get him to address that. One of the ways I'm starting to come to peace with this habitat is, of course, its longevity is a given. It's going to last forever. And looking at Bay's the other day when we went and looked at his lake, it's covered in paraphyton, which is food. It's a good substrate for fatheads. It's shade, and I like them. Like if you were going to use them in your lake, I'd be looking at some of those to mark on top of where we put some of the other habitat that was installed back in the early spring. Mossback guys did. So I think that this kind of habitat can enhance like natural habitat, rock piles, woody timber, wood where we put in tree trunks and teepees and tic-tac-toe boards and things. Having some of these, especially these lily pads on top of that, I think that could be a pretty good idea. Here we go. All right.
This is actually a lily pad marker, a little bit smaller. Figure
Okay.
it would fit in the picture a little bit better.
Yep.
But people use these to tie off to underwater structures.
To market.
Yeah, to market. This is a marker. So
So you just anchor it with a cord.
it comes with a cord, and you just tie it off.
You know, fathead minnows stick their eggs on the underneath side of firm objects. And back when I was really dialed into managing new lakes and brand new lakes that were just growing fathead minnows, I would go find sheets of PVC like they used to use on
Yeah.
some of the billboards and highway signs. I had a guy that made those things, and he'd give me that stuff, and I'd cut it and shape it, and then I'd put it on wooden pallets, and float it out in the water where the fathead minnows could use it. So there's an example of this. So while you were back there digging up for this thing, I made a comment that when people start pricing this stuff out, they get some sticker shock. Sell them on what's the value?
Well, it's going to last forever. Natural habitat is great, but eventually it's going to deteriorate.
Wood stuff will.
Correct. Yeah. The longevity of it, that's the main thing in my eyes. I think that the fish pyramids are very protective. That you can't, I don't think, naturally design something like that. I think it's very unique to where, the bluegill are going to be very protected. They could feed off of it, and then your bass are going to be on the outside looking in.
So there's your sales pitch. So we're going to be out of time here in a minute. If people want to contact you, you've got dealers.
Sure.
I'm a dealer.
Yeah.
And you've got fisheries management companies scattered out around the nation that are dealers.
We do.
If somebody wants to buy something and they're working with a fisheries guy, they contact him,
Yes.
her,
Yes.
they.
So our lake management dealers sell our LM series feeders, and that lets us know you're talking with them, and we want you to get you back to them. So
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Give us a call. Let us know where you're at, and we can definitely send you to a lake management professional in your area.
All right. But you make a lot of sales just retail right off the website.
We do.
Yeah.
There's
All right.
places where people don't cover. So yes.
Got it? All right. What else you want to cover before we cut out of here? Hey, there's Buddy Floyd. Buddy Floyd's a lake builder from Como, Mississippi.
Okay.
And if he's not a Texas Hunter dealer yet, he will be, I got a feeling. Because he builds a lot of ponds and lakes over there and helps people stock them.
Give us a call.
Oh, look here, Deborah Corliss. What's the best to use to tie off the lily pad that won't rot? You send a cord with it, right?
Yeah, so we send a green shock cord. That way, if you have water fluctuation up and down, it can follow your water levels.
There you go. Scott Schilling from Northern Indiana. Late to the party. Does Texas Hunter know how much MVP the feeder throws per 5 seconds if the spin plate is adjusted 5/16 below the funnel? And he's another one of these guys that likes to stump me.
So the
glad you're
factory
here.
setting is 3/8 of an inch from the bottom of the funnel to the base of where the feed would set.
So he's going to raise it 1/16.
It's going to throw about 8 ounces per 5 seconds.
Okay, come again.
Now it might. We've measured Purina fish chow as well as Aquamax 600s.
Okay.
I think 600 weighed a little bit more just because of the pellet sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about 11 to 12 ounces per 5 seconds, and
But that's at the
fish chow
factory.
was about 8 seconds.
That's the factory settings, though, right?
correct.
Okay. So if
I
he-
don't know where 5/16. That's
Well, it's 1/16
that's bigger, but the main thing is if you're messing with your spinner plate, you don't want it to overflow your blower unit to where it jams.
Oh, don't lower it too much. So 5/16, 6/16, 3/8. So 5/16 is 1/16 shorter, closer.
Oh, sure.
So all right. So here's what we're going to do, Scott. Go measure it and call and tell us if we're wrong. 8 ounces in 5 seconds.
That's it.
That's your
That should be it.
That's your final answer.
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
MVP has different
Eight-
sizes.
8.5 ounces. All right. Well, you know what? This has really been fun. Let's see what else we got down here. I love this. I love these guys. They're so fun. Let's see. Look at there. Scott Schilling, my TH shows half a pound of food in 7 seconds. We've measured it several times. There you go. Okay. That's less than I thought.
What food is that?
That's an MVP.
MVP. Okay.
All right. Half a pound of food in 7 seconds. John Harson's. All right. His is factory. Okay. So here we go. All right, guys. You know what? We're going to wrap up at 8:30. Cody, thanks for letting me come.
Thank you.
Steal you away from your evening. You didn't get to
It's
go
all
home and
good.
be with your family, and here it is, 8:30, and you're going to have to haul me back to a hotel. So, once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. This is always fun, and, you help keep me as sharp as I can be, which is about like a butter knife. So, I'm not sure where I will be next week, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be hanging out with you.
Look who
Chris
showed up.
Blood showed up. Love the showroom backdrop. Here it is. He says we look great. One of us does.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we're going to wrap it up until next Tuesday. Don't forget, $35 a year, cheaper than a Friday night date. Last a year. You paid more for supper. He bought my supper, thanks. He paid more for supper than the subscription. I guess I need to give him a subscription. Oh wait, no, he gets one every month.
get one.
Yeah. So here we are. Now I've blocked myself out and I can't. Oh, dadgum, end the live video. All right. Ooh, I need to cancel that. Get rid of this. End the live video. All right. Adios for now, everybody. Bye.